athletes and fans of bodybuilding, Terrick Guindy with the Mr. Olympia. We've brought the best of the best to talk about the new category, the new division, the fit model division. Tyler went on NPC News Online and he gave the description. I'm excited. First, I want to welcome 8-time Miss Olympia, Lenda Murray. How are you, Lenda?
Oh, I'm doing outstanding on this New Year's Day. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. And then we have here, she won the bikini category 3 times at the Olympia. She won 50 shows. And as Tyler was describing the criteria, he actually brought up her performance in 2015. This woman is on fire. Her name is Ashley Kaltwasser. And
yes, he used her as an example. No better. That's like outstanding.
I think
she's frozen.
I think she's frozen. I said she's on fire, and now she's frozen. Ashley, can you hear us?
I can hear you now. I was trying to get on with my phone. I'm like, what the heck's going on with the internet? I can do it on my phone too if you need me to.
I'm going to do the introduction again. Are you ready?
Do you want me to get on my phone? I can just do data.
No. We can hear you right now. 3-time Olympia champion.
Was it my internet?
It was yours that was frozen for a second.
It was mine? Oh, shit. Okay.
Yes.
I have all my bars, so I don't know.
Ashley Kaltwasser, welcome to the show.
Hi.
And also with us, she's the current Olympia bikini champion. She's on the top of the food chain right now in the bikini is Lauralie Chapados. How are you, Lauralie?
Good. Thank you. Can you guys hear me well?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you well.
Look at her. She's already in the gym.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I think we have Ashley frozen again. Ashley, if you want to get in with your phone, maybe that might be better. But I want to proceed by first, on behalf of the Mr. Olympia and the IFBB Pro League and the NPC, I want to wish all the fans and competitors a happy new year. We are excited to have you guys compete on stage. We're excited to see the new pros. We're excited to see the amateurs come on stage. And obviously, we're excited to see the new Olympia champions or the same Olympia champions. That's what Lauralie Chapados expects to happen in Las Vegas in 2025. But I want to start with you, Lenda Murray.
Yes.
You have seen the inception of pretty much every single category, right? When you were competing, there was men's bodybuilding and women's bodybuilding. For that matter, you probably experienced the inception of women's bodybuilding, did you?
The inception of women's bodybuilding?
You competed,
just women's bodybuilding. So I've experienced the inception of all of our current 6 women's divisions, and now I get to look forward to what's coming with the Fit Model division.
What is your expectation based on your experience that you have seen in previous introductions of categories? What's your expectation for this new category?
I think it's absolutely great. I think it's needed, and watching all the divisions as they come along. Like in the beginning, we were always a little bit weird or wondering, like when wellness came on board, like what's wellness? It didn't make sense to us because we were so about a balanced physique, and then they told us what that division is. But let me tell you, the NPC, whoever we put on stage, they're always in very good shape. So this is not a situation where we're looking at anything but really fabulous physiques that women aspire to have.
Hey, Lauralie, can you hear us?
I can hear you very well, very loud and clear.
So you are the current Bikini Olympia champion, and now we have the introduction of this new category.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your expectations. What do you anticipate? How do you feel about a new category? Tell us a little bit about what's in your mind right now.
I think something new in this sport is always great because it showcases how much we're growing, how much there's like this constant kind of feedback and action reaction from the federation and the athletes and what's really going on into the world, and just make it better and greater. So I love seeing the breaking news on Tyler Mannion, our vice president Instagram page, because I know there's always it's just improving the sport. So for the fit model division, I just think, yes, bring it on. Bring all the women that wants to have a place, a platform to do and practice bodybuilding and find their spot. Because, I mean, it's been my life for the last 8 to 10 years, and it changed my life. So I think sometimes it's just a matter of like, whomever wants to participate, they just need to find their spot. And it can't always be easy. For me, I really fell right into bikini category, and I will never change that. Like, I love the category, and I'm sure, Linda, you kind of felt the same. You start becoming an ambassador and you just want to be representing the best of your division. And I can't wait to see that happen for Fit Model. I think it's really gonna break our mind. I think I'm so ready for it.
And I'm gonna be straight to the point.
For a change.
Yeah, I want to hear this.
Linda, I even mention names when I go straight to the point.
I know you
this.
do.
So some people send me YouTube videos from the people that have somehow been critical about it. And some of them are very close friends of mine. So I don't mind blast them publicly. One of them was Dave Palumbo. Palumbo with RX Muscle. Hey, yeah. Dave, talking bad about you right here. But Dave is a very good friend of mine. And he said, Terrick, now the shows are going to be so long. And I said, Dave, your only interest is bodybuilding. You have not covered one bikini show the entire year. If it was up to you, you would have the first and second call out of the Olympia and nothing else, okay? We wouldn't have Sebum. We wouldn't have Jeremy Buendia. We wouldn't have Lauralie Chapados. We wouldn't have Ashley Kaltwasser. We would only have the first and second call out of the Olympia. You're a hardcore 90s bodybuilder, and all you want to see is bodybuilding. So, and unfortunately, that's not the way to go about it.
No, it's not.
The UFC has many different categories. It has the lighter weights, right? A lot of people like the lighter guys. The fights are more exciting. And then there's the heavyweights. The same thing with boxing. In boxing, you'll have Mike Tyson, you have Evander Holyfield, and then you have guys that are smaller, Floyd Mayweather. We can't look at some of the, Floyd Mayweather and say, well, he's too small, he doesn't have a power punch. We can look at Mike Tyson and say, well, those guys are not as fast as some of the lighter guys. And the same thing with different categories. Listen, I was with Felipe Bragança and his wife, and Nando and his wife. They are the presenting sponsors of, they're Integral Medica. They're the presenting sponsors of the Mr. Olympia. And the wives, Aline and Juliana, their interest is only bikini. It's only bikini. And you know what? I don't mind. But at least they found something that they like, right?
Yeah. You know what I would say to Dave Palumbo? Two things. First of all, I don't believe he's a promoter or that he's ever promoted a show. And secondly, he's not a woman. And I'm a woman, and I'm a promoter, and I know what women ask for. From the point of view being a promoter, I think it's absolutely great. Hey Dave, you're in media. I know you probably don't want to sit at a show for 16 hours, but if you're in media and we have to do a 16-hour day, we have to do a 16-hour day. And the fact is that Dave, probably the majority of the shows that he goes to, he's going to these really big shows, the Nationals, the North American, the Masters, and the numbers are very large. It just is what it is. That's not what's represented across the United States as far as the number of shows and athletes at each of these shows. And as a promoter, And as a woman, I do know that women want to compete. They absolutely love bikini. Some of them don't maybe necessarily have that physique to compete at the level that even what we see, because I know Tyler used Ashley as an example from her 2014 or 2015 win as an example of what that division is. So they're not saying they want slouches on stage. You know what I mean? They want a very fit body, and he made it very clear. And I do hear a distinction between what we see at the Ms. Olympia and at high levels of bikini in comparison to what I'm saying as a promoter on the NPC level in the bikini division. And the women, they want it.
And so here's my public offensive against Dave Palumbo, Nick Strength and Power, and Nick Trigili. I love you guys. You guys are friends of mine, and I love you guys. But let's get real. You only like bodybuilding. You're not going to be covering a pro men's physique show in Japan. You're not going to be covering a classic physique show in Tunisia. That's not your interest. Your interest is pro bodybuilding, and we love you for that. Mm-hmm. But if your interest is just bodybuilding, you have to understand that some people's interest is just a different category. In this case that I explained, two of my personal friends, their interest is only bikini. It's not other categories, but we have Ashley Kaltwasser to be aspirational. We have Lauralie Chapados to be aspirational. And I think in the fit model, just like every category that we've had, we're going to have superstars. Mm-hmm. And those superstars are going to become popular. They're going to win shows. They're going to make money, and they're going to inspire people to join the NPC, to pursue a healthier lifestyle, to eat well and diet. Ashley Kaltwasser, I've already attacked 3 people, and we haven't had 15 minutes on the live. What is your take?
Yeah, there's a lot of, it's very, you have the people that are so excited for this new division, mostly the girls, and then the guys, mostly the bodybuilder, classic kind of old school bodybuilder guys that don't like the idea of it. And this happened, let me remind you, this happens with every new division. Every single new division, they take it as a joke. And when bikini first came out, they took it as a joke too. All the bodybuilders were like, what are these little bikini girls doing on stage? They don't work out. But let me remind you, that fit model physique that they're using as reference, I'm a former collegiate athlete, okay? 400-meter hurdles. I was not doing yoga twice a week and walking on the treadmill for 15 minutes a day, okay? Training for track was hard. It was hard, okay? So after, my track career kind of just transitioned right into bikini. So for those that think it's like a joke, it's not. And also, everyone has a different physique, and different goals and different wants. We don't all want to be super muscular, and some of us can't, right? Some of us just can't. So I think that all the complaints, we should remember that, the shows are going to be longer. That might be annoying, but it's a sign that our industry is healthy, thriving, and growing. So we all win if our shows get bigger. So it might be a little inconvenient, but hey, it helps everyone. Every single person, it will help. Just growing our industry.
Mm-hmm. Lauralie Chapados, what is your take on it and some of this criticism? Did you suffer discrimination when you started to compete in bikini and people said, well, bikini, that's not really, bodybuilding? I actually went to film with Lauralie Chapados in Florida a few years back, and I said to myself, half of the dudes that have been filming don't work as hard as Lauralie Chapados.
I love that. And it's interesting that you named Dave Palumbo, because I'm going to put him on the spot too, because you already did. But I think my first interview with him, I got interviewed once. I think it was the Arnold, actually. And he came to me and he was like, so is it true that bikini girls do train hard? And I was like, yes, they do. Yes, they do. And I was like, is that still around? Because you do hear it, the doubt. But I'm like, I don't think they doubt us anymore. And I think it's just a matter of once you put it out there, and that's what I'm excited about. I'm just excited about seeing like a top 5 of those fit model that you just like meet new people that are just maybe talking, like Ashley said, like they're doing different type of training, and that brings a different body. And I'm like, okay, we're not just doing a 5-day split bodybuilding style or like push pull thing. We're hearing like, oh, maybe this girl is doing Pilates and also like track, but also swimming, and also like they could be doing different things. And that's what I'm excited for. I'm excited about the more individualistic, more unique side of things. And I think bikini, we represent that a lot. We have like really different style of girl, like just as the top 5. And I think that's so beautiful. So I'm excited for that. Can you imagine? That's what I was talking to a girlfriend about. Imagine an NPC show fit model in Brazil and an NPC fit model show in Europe, like Eastern Europe. It's going to be completely different. But once they mingle together at like a national show or like even the pro level, can you imagine that lineup? How interesting this is going to be and how beautiful and fun. I don't know. Like I'm stoked. I haven't been paying attention to a lot of criticism because I think those things of like, oh, the show is going to be longer. I feel that you're really scratching for the crap. And I believe in our promoters because most of them has been either there for a long time or even competitors themselves. So they know what it is about. And I don't know. I think we all should be happy and joyful about the new division.
I'm a big believer, but now I want to hear from the 3 of you. What, I've been getting a lot of pictures from competitors, from coaches. They're saying, Terrick, am I right for this division? I mean, I competed in bikini and, I was on the 3rd call out. I felt like the girls, that were on the 1st call out had more muscle. And am I right for this category? And all of them, I told them, get in and compete, because I think you're very close to it. If you competed in bikini and you felt like you were not as conditioned or you were missing a little bit of muscle, this is your opportunity to try a new category. I'll start with you, Lenda. What is your advice to possibly a lot of the girls watching our live or eventually watching it to get into competing in this class? What would you advise them?
Oh, wow. I mean, I think it's great for many reasons. I'm going to say this from the point of view of a promoter. When bikini first came on the scene, and then we started to see master competitors wanting to compete in bikini, and I've really watched the masters division really grow. Like every year, every show, we have to add. It went from over 35 to over 40, over 45, over 50, over 60. One of the things I think that's really great about this and the inception of it, and how I do see it to be a little bit different from when bikini first came on the scene, like master women, to not have to be that lean, like it's to me a really good thing, because as we age and we lose the fullness of our muscles, the fullness of your glutes, a little bit more fat on the body looks better. So I can really visualize more. I can visualize this division really taking off even faster, especially for master competitors, because now they don't really feel that pressure of, I don't have the full glutes that Ashley Kaltwasser or Lauralie Chapados has. I don't want to lose when I diet hard to be as lean to compete in bikini, then I have a little bit more looser skin. So I really see the takeoff really being a very good one for women across the board. I really do.
Ashley, what is your advice to a lot of the young competitors? I had a lot of competitors sending me pictures. What is your advice to them? They mentioned your name in the criteria, so I'm sure everybody's excited to listen to you.
Yeah. So something that no one's really talking about, but I was thinking about this. this is going to be more of a genetic heavy division than people realize, because here's my thought process. You know, we all want that little waist, the hips, the nice hourglass, which is going to be very, very prominent in this new division. So what happens if you don't have like a small waist, right? You can't really build around it, because then you're going to start to get into the bikini category, right? Mm-hmm. So I think people think that like, oh, well, maybe it doesn't take as much time, and it doesn't probably to prep for. But I think when we see the top of the top, we're going to see like the genetics really thrive. So I think that's just something that I was thinking about, but no one really said. And it's going to be very, very presentation heavy too. So if you're someone that you check those boxes, this might be for you. But I also would caution you, just because you're more a bikini physique, but you kind of want to do that because you think it might be easier. I want to caution you of everything I just said previously. So if you know that you're not one that has like that genetic structure, because it's going to be hard to build off of that. With bikini, if someone doesn't have a small waistline, they can build their lats up, they can build their quads up to make them more like this, but there's no hiding it in the new division.
Mm-hmm. Great. What is your advice? And talk a little bit about the posing, because I just before we started, I watched Tyler talk about the posing. The posing is that initial, angled posing, right? Talk a little bit about that and your advice to the competitors.
So the posing is so interesting because I remember that pose quite a lot. It's going to favor, like Ashley said, the genetics and less more of the structure, because it's very straightforward. And I think the purpose of having a pose like that and the suit also that is not embezzled is for really the audience to almost picture on stage and on a magazine, like almost simultaneously, right? Because once you have a model, or like, let's say a model on the runway, right? Like these girls get contract from that walkway, for example. So that's what I see. I'm like, okay, I see, let's say, like Muscle and Fitness being here, or like Nike being in the audience and like looking at the fit model division and be like, oh, that girl, this girl, and being able to be able to translate that easier because of the posing. It's so straightforward and you can't really hide anything. And because of the suit, these are the two things that came into my mind. And obviously the presentation, I do think it's going to be a lot more different than people actually think. Bikini is a lot more, we're almost kind of like hinging forward to create that illusion of a small waist and having those glutes really, really high and that lower back really arch. I see more of like a pelvis forward, more abs and more sultry kind of like walk and sexy walk, more loose in the hip than in bikini that is more like structure-esque per se. So that's, if you have that in your DNA, and that kind of like sexiness, I don't know how to say it, but just kind of that flow and that vibe and that model, that model that you want to kind of model more than just being a structure and an athlete bodybuilder style. I would really go into that fit model. I can name a few names that I could see right there just doing so well, that competed in the past. But that's what I see with fit model.
I see what you're saying, especially, with the, I think the strategy is to make it different, right? The front posing is different than the front posing in the bikini. The bikini itself is different. And I also think that their presentation is going to be different. Now, there's one thing that's going to be similar. When people talk to me about, what are some of the hardest classes to judge? And a lot of times I say bikini, because you get the girl at the Olympia who placed 14th, and she's just about, 2 centimeters away from the girl that won the show. The girls are really close. In bikini and in fit model, you are going to have the competitors that are a bit soft, and you're also going to have the competitors that are a bit too hard, right? You know, just like bikini, you know, we tell Lauralie Chapados, Lauralie, you look great, but you were a bit too hard. And then the next year we go and we say, Lauralie, you look great, but you looked a bit too soft. And then one year she comes in, she nails, and she wins the show. So I think the same concept will apply. The competitor in the fit model category will have to nail the conditioning. You can be overly soft and you can be overly conditioned. So there's going to have that precise, you know, mark where the competitors are going to line up and we're going to see who is the best. And obviously that mark is going to be softer than bikini, but there's going to be a mark, right? There's going to be a mark right there where we go, you know what, that competitor is exactly where we want her to be. She's not too hard. She has the softness. We want that to win the show. So it's going to be a matter of precision. If you're a coach right now, you're going to have to be precise, just like you have in the figure and in the bikini. Do you agree with my statement, Lenda? I just noticed I got my son's thing here.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, I've learned a lot as far as with bikini, the precision. You know, it's no question to me that with each division, it's an art, you know, and each of us, we have to figure out, you know, your body, Ashley, you know your body, Lauralie, and what you do, you're pros. And we know when we see that winner, right? Like, you know, that person that sparkles and shines from head to toe. So, and there are women in bikini that we know they can't go from bikini to, they may not be a right fit for bikini, but they can't go from bikini to wellness or bikini to figure. So to me, this just really hits the nail on the head as far as what Tyler said. You know, he said not a lot of they're not looking for a lot of definition in the abdominals or the tie-ins, full glutes, but not necessarily the tie-ins that we see in bikini, or from the rear seeing the shoulders, you know. So this is perfection without question.
I'm gonna add something to that, because I think it's going to be, I know people say it's going to be harder to judge than bikini, but I think it might be even easier because of the fact that there's things that we don't want in this category. So the judging is going to be going cap shoulder, nope. Different app, nope. Tie-ins, nope. So then we're like restricted to 3 or 4 people that actually like nailed the look. And yeah, I think if boundaries are set like very like solidly, and that's how it's actually being judged, which I believe it will be, because otherwise it's just going to merge into being like a bikini show. It might be easier than people think, but harder to achieve.
Yeah, harder to achieve for sure. I mean, because think about it. You know, when I think about getting to know you ladies, and we did the battles and the discussions on your training, and I know from the point of view of a bodybuilder, or point of view of women's physique or figure, like we know, like we need to put on muscle, right? You have some bodybuilders and their structure is not the prettiest structure, right? Upper body may not really, their upper body may not be as strong as their powerful legs, but we know we have to build quadriceps, we have to build hamstrings. We know we have to diet really hard. And with each division, there's that thing that you have to do. Even if you have to pull back, if you have, you know, genetically gifted where you have the quads, you have to know how to pull back. And that's the part of the art of us chiseling our physiques and presenting that on stage. So yes. I do feel like bikini fit model, really tough. That would be a tough one for me to pull back, to hold back, to, So
Ashley, we look at this picture here.
Yeah.
I believe that's 2015.
14.
14 or 15?
That actually looks like 13, but I could be wrong. I wore that suit for all those 3 years, so I'm not entirely sure, but for some reason 11 I think was 13.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about the kind of training that you were doing back then. Tell me a little bit about the nutrition that you were doing back then, and if those two aspects have completely changed from where you are right now.
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, I just kind of came off of a collegiate track career. I ran 400-meter hurdles, so definitely had an athletic background to begin with, which helped greatly for what I was doing. So how I train might be a little different, considering my background, right? But I will say I'm eating so much more now. I'm eating a lot more now. And my diet back then, I can't tell you exactly my calories at that point, because it's always changing. Even now, it's changing by the week. But I will say I'm definitely eating more than I did previously.
So in terms of nutrition, you're eating more.
Yeah.
Would you be able to quantify in terms of protein? If you're eating, 100 grams of protein right now, maybe back then you were doing 80, 60 grams. Can you quantify a little bit so we can have some of the people say, okay, now I know where she was and I can duplicate that?
Right. So I will say one big thing, one big macro difference from then and now is actually carbs. So back then, I didn't really even hear the word full too much, right? In bikini, I hear all the time, you got to be full. You got to be full and round and bubbly popping. Didn't really hear it that much back then. So I didn't really need that extra little pop. So I didn't really dabble into the carbs as much as I do now, especially for peak weeks, right? So I'm actually, that brings me to a point. I'm very curious to see how full and how that comes about, because that's a big word in bikini. So I'm wondering if it they're looking for full for the fit model as well.
I think this is a great look. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what year but this is a fantastic look. I think this is, if you're watching this live and, I know I have a lot of bikini competitors here, but I think this is a fantastic look. There's no lines on the quads. The abs, you can barely see a little separation on the serratos. The shoulders are not capped. And the posing is ideal right there. Very nice. Now, Lauralie, some of these girls might be saying, you know what? I have everything on the front posing, but Tyler was very clear. He said, hey, from the back, you're still going to have a little bit of glutes. It has to be firm, So some of the bikini competitors, what is your advice to kind of, get those glutes going, but not overdo it?
I'll go first, or
I'm like, I got stuck into the not overdoing it. So
no, I went to watch Lauralie Chapados working out. There's two people out of all the people that I have seen working out, all the Olympia battles, those two people that I said to myself, these two people are insane. The first one is Lauralie Chapados, and the second one was Franciele Matos. I said to myself, if I ever wanted to do legs with any of those girls or glutes, I think I wouldn't be able to make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I saw the classic physique guys doing 140-pound dumbbells, and I said to myself, you know what? If I train hard, I can actually do that. But when I saw Lauralie training glutes and Franciele Matos training legs, I said, dude, I don't think I will ever make to that level of lifting. And then I said, those people are 100% hardcore bodybuilding. Dave Palumbo, you would get murdered by them, okay?
They sure would. Man,
You would
the
get
men,
murdered, Dave. You
yeah,
don't
the
have
men
the
can
space.
hang.
I will pay you $1,000 in cash if you have the guts to work out legs with Franciele Matos or glutes with Lauralie Chapados. There's not enough species nutrition supplement to get you going. Ashley Kaltwasser, go ahead. And then we'll go to Lauralie.
So for the overdoing it thing, so he wants glutes that don't like shake, but they're firm. See, this is where genetics come into play. Body fat distribution. Where do you hold body fat? Do you hold it in your stomach? Do you hold it in your glutes, your legs? This is going to be key, because this, everyone thinks it's just going to be so easy to like nail it. And this is exactly why, because I feel like this division is going to be like the Goldilocks. It's going to be less of a range, right? It's going to be like less wiggle room. If you're too lean or too soft, you got to be just right. So body fat distribution obviously has a lot to do with it. You know, you can, because if you build your muscle, your glutes, yeah, you can build them, but is it still going to be a place that you hold body fat? Or maybe that's a place when you're one of the rare people that don't hold body fat there, you know? So that's something you're going to have to, you know, check out with your coach, because a lot of people think it's just going to be this easy division and everyone can do it.
I think it's going to humble a couple people, to be honest with you. So I think again, it's going to be very interesting to see, you know, the training is not going to be maybe as isolative as we're seeing into bodybuilding, maybe incorporating some sprints that just activate different muscle fibers and just give you that perk and that pop. And again, it's going to be a lot of genetics, predisposition, and analyzing that. So it's really going to be, even if, you know, Ashley is a beautiful standard and like it's a beautiful image to see, people are really going to have to like look into themselves and really analyze and making their own science with that journey.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exciting, you know. And then Lenda, promoting shows, right?
Yes.
We just had here one of our guests. I'm excited with this new division. I'm considering transitioning from fan to athlete. This is opening the doors for so many women. So now, Lenda,
there you go.
We have a lot of the fans of Ashley, fans of Lauralie saying, you know what? You know, I love those girls, but I can't get to that level. Maybe I'll just do fit model. As a promoter, what is your advice to them? Where do they get the information? What coach should they pursue? What show should they do? What is your advice as a promoter?
Well, for one of the things I did hear Dave Palumbo make a comment on, and he said something about, because we know you can't cross over. If you decide to compete in fit body, you can't cross over into bikini if you're competing in the NPC. One of the things he said is, well, I don't think we need all those divisions, the true novice, junior. He said maybe masters, just over 35. And I would suggest always to a competitor for the first time to definitely, we need true novice, because there's a big difference in the way people present their physique. They have to learn, you know, and one of the things is not so much always about the body, but if a person's really good at posing and presentation and really knowing their body, they put a lot of emphasis on presentation. Go out there, go and look at videos and what the NPC News, what they have online, their criteria, the rules for it. Look at bikini and look at your physique, and that's how you can really, that's a good place to start. So I like the fact that we have true novice and that there will be novice, because there are different levels of it, you know. So that would be my suggestion.
And, you know, I'm getting a lot of athletes that have competed in bikini before sending me pictures and saying, Terrick, I want to compete in the new fit model. So I think right off the bat, we are going to have competitors with experience. People that have competed in the bikini, they have done about 3, 4, 5 shows, and now they're jumping into the fit model. I mean, I don't think they would consider themselves true novice or novice. I think they would go straight to the open. And then you have someone just like our guest here who said, hey, I'm a fan, but this is my first time. So jump in the true novice, try the true novice. So there's really a demand for all the new divisions in this category. I'm excited about it. I want to plug in the coaches, right? So I always tell people, I'm not a coach, I'm a judge. So I can't tell you how you grow your glutes. I can't tell you how you cap your shoulders. I can't tell you how you're going to get there. But I can tell you that there are some great coaches in our industry. Lauralie, mention your coach, and Ashley, mention your coach. I'm sure they're going to be happy. If I didn't mention Adam, he would call me for 17 hours and crucify me. Go ahead, Lauralie. Tell me who's your coach and why they should pursue your coach.
Yes, it will be an honor for me to present my coach, Kim Odo from Buddy Bio. I forgot to mention his name in my speech at the Olympia, and I still haven't. Forgive me for that. So thank you for giving me the opportunity today. Kim Odo, I'm going to say it. He is currently, and I think for the past 3 years, 2-3 years, the only coach that has won titles such as Miss Bikini Olympia and Arnold Classic champions. Current active coach. And I think that says a lot. I think if you have a goal and you're looking for a coach, if someone has accomplished what you want, that's where you should aim for. That for me is the strategic part. And then the more emotional part, Kim has been in the industry for so long. He's Papa Kimbo, everybody knows. He's amazing. His knowledge with nutrition and just support as far as women's health is just above and beyond. So I'm so proud that he's my coach. So thank you for giving him, giving me the opportunity to give him a shout out, because he really changed everything. So
yeah, I have to second that. I know Kimoto for a long time. He's truly one of the great coaches we have in the history of our sport, and not only physically but mentally. He's very much aware of his clients' health and well-being, and he's made great champions. Kimoto is located here in Temecula, California, and if you want to follow him, you can go to Body Bio on Instagram. I'm sure he has a website, www.bodybio.com. He's a great guy. Lauralie said, he's been coaching for a long time. Sometimes he jokes himself. He says, Terrick, I've been coaching since the Civil War.
That's a good one.
Ashley, go ahead and talk about your team, your coach. Why should people pursue Adam, Team Elite Physique, if they want to do a fit model?
Yes. So before I get into that, I have to third that Kim is awesome. He's not even my coach, but I love seeing him at shows. He's really friendly and so happy and always smiling, and
so
I'm not
positive.
even an athlete, but he treats me as if I am. So thank you, Kim, for being so nice to all of us. But my coach is Adam Bonilla from Team Elite Physique. And I've been with him since 2017, ride or die, I think about if there was a male version of me, that would be him. So we very much, we're very, very efficient at what we do. So I found I'm never leaving him. He's stuck with me forever, whether he likes it or not. So thank you, Adam, for dealing with me, because I'm not easy to deal with because I compete so much. So it's a lot of work for him. So
wow.
Thank you, Coach Adam.
No,
congratulations, you guys.
No, yeah, you guys have won. You just completed this year 50 shows, right?
Yes. Well, yeah, I won 50. I don't know how
won
many.
50.
How many shows
I'm
this
sorry.
year?
She won 50 shows. Now, Ashley, talk to me about consistency. Do you ever get tired competing that much? Does your body change? Does your body like competing that much? Or you're just like, Terrick is just like NFL season. Every Sunday they play. Every Saturday I compete.
Yeah, so I love competing. First and foremost, that's why I do it. It's not for money or anything else that people might say. I love it. And you know something, as a former track athlete, we did track meet every weekend, whether we liked it or not. During the winter, we did indoor, and then the summer, spring, outdoor. So I'm used to like always competing. And so I kind of bring that same mentality to this sport. And luckily, I seem to be able to hold up pretty well. My body seems to hold on pretty well throughout the season. So I use that to my advantage and just go for it. But with that, if it ever starts to, my physique is like on the decline, that's when I have to be like, I don't want to take a step back, but I'm going to. So yeah, I guess it's a little mix of both there. But most of the time, it's me wanting to compete more, but Adam being like, maybe we should hold off for a little bit longer and, be a little bit more choosy with the show. So,
She's won in Japan. She's won in Kazakhstan. Wow, it's nice. I like
Romania.
She's won everywhere. Yeah. Lauralie, I have a question for you. And this question is going to be a profound question. In the past, you said, I can win the Arnold, but when it gets to the Olympia, we never get to see the best of Lauralie Chapados. Something happens with Lauralie Chapados. She doesn't bring her best physique to the Olympia. That's why she hasn't won the Olympia. Some people even speculated. She goes, Lauralie can win all these shows, but she can't win the big one. And then at Olympia Battle this year in Phoenix, you seem to be in a different state of mind. You seem to be completely different than what you were in the past. Talk about, what was going on? What is the lesson we can learn from your victory? And what took you over the hump?
Oh my God. It is profound. It is profound. I think I'm still kind of processing everything that happened during this prep, but I just remember the big feeling of just peace, like overwhelming peace that I couldn't really explain, but I was just at peace with everything. And I am going to say this because I do think it played a major role into my entire career. When I look back, right, and I look at my entire career with like the roller coaster of second place Olympia for my first time without any coach, and then a coach of 4 5th, and then back up to 2, and then back up to 4 and 5th, and then back up to winning it. Environment is huge in the sport, gigantic. Find a place where you feel safe doing what you do, and safe is just being able to train, to do your nutrition, and being supported with doing that. I'm lucky. I have a boyfriend as a trainer. We're here. We're at the gym. It's what are we? It's January 1st. We were here the same time yesterday. I have Kim now that just is the most experienced and just teaches me so much wisdom that I can have my eyes closed and my blinders on into doing exactly what I love to do, which is training and enjoying bodybuilding and just having fun and knowing that my back is completely covered from all other angles. So I think that was huge. So if I was a competitor that is just about to start doing bodybuilding, I would get all the information gathered together, like being at shows, watch, NPC News Online, Olympia TV, all the content that is available now, but also understanding that this journey is going to be yours and you have to analyze where are you right now? And is it realistic for you to have a prep where you're able to actually enjoy it? Because if you're not enjoying it, you're not going to have a good time. And sometimes we're our biggest enemy. And I think this year at the Olympia, it was just me beating myself. And until the last, and I spoke to that with Lenda and Wendy and Camille on another on an episode, like a little bit more, like right after the Olympia. And until the very last moment before we went back on stage at night show, I almost texted like, maybe it's not mine this year. But I felt confident all the way through. But until the very last, this little red peep person on my shoulder was telling me, maybe it's not your time. But I was like, no, I'm not even going to put it in the universe. I'm not going to put it out there. So right there, I beat myself. I went on stage and I just let things happen. And that was my best, simply because I was not fighting anything. I was just really at peace and super happy. And it was weird because sometimes you feel like the harder you work and you're at that grind and you go into the gym and you have your hoodie on and everything is dark and you have to like da 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 and you have to like starve and you're gonna earn it more and you're gonna deserve it more. And sometimes no, it's just about peace and fun and being popping on stage and just being present. And I felt so supported and loved. Like I can't get over how much love I felt that weekend from everybody. So it was very special. And all these past year, I don't want to take more time of the thing, but I just want to put that into perspective for whomever is watching or is about to compete, or even Ashley. I've competed beside you for so long, and we've cheered on each other for so long. And I think I love my second, fifth place, and just seeing the winner being awarded and being the bridesmaid for so long. But wow, it really got me ready for that moment. So yeah, it was very special.
Very nice, very nice. Well, we always have the section which is losing followers, right? And this is the moment. We're gonna do Olympia Battle, right? We're gonna do Olympia Battle coming up. I've been talking to Samson Dowda. I talked to Keon Pearson. We're talking to Isa Pereira. So we're gonna be doing Olympia Battle Bikini again. Now, you can't say the same name. Lauralie, obviously, you and Ashley as the top two contenders, you girls are going to be there. But Lauralie, if you had to pick one name, and Ashley cannot be the same name, if you had to pick one person to join both of you at Olympia Battle Bikini in Phoenix, Arizona, who would that be? Would it be Maureen Blanquisco? Would it be Jasmine Gonzalez? Would it be Jennifer Dory? Who would you pick to join both of you?
I am going to only one. I would say, I want to say Jennifer Dory.
That's fine. We always thought you didn't like Maureen and then Jasmine. Ashley.
Oh, I know. What did he say?
Lauralie does not want Jasmine Gonzalez and Maureen Blanquisco at the Olympia Battle.
Oh
what about
God,
you?
Here we go.
If you had to pick one competitor to join you both in Phoenix, Arizona for Olympia Battle, who would that be? And you can't say Jennifer Dory.
Can I do two? Okay, I want to do two because I'm making my own rules here.
Okay.
So Maureen, I want to say Maureen because I feel bad. She missed out on her last Olympia. She got injured. So let's have her. And then Isa Piscini. I love Isa.
Isa Piscini.
Isa.
Okay. Very interesting. That would be 5 Olympia bikini champions in one Olympia Battle, Lenda.
Okay, so bring Angelica. So since Ashley said 2, I'm gonna say bring Angelica Teixeira. That's the first one I was gonna say, but I didn't want to.
Oh my God, we could have 6.
That'd be a real battle.
I'm gonna talk to Jake, and I'm gonna try to make this happen. We're gonna do an Olympia Battle with 6 Olympia champions. We're gonna try to bring Angelica Teixeira, Isa Piscini, Maureen Blanquisco, Jennifer Dory, Lauralie Chapados, and Ashley Kaltwasser. That would be epic and historic.
Yes, epic.
Let's make this happen,
all Miss
Linda.
Olympias. I agree.
All Miss Olympias. We're gonna bring you girls back. Very nice, very nice, very nice. So Amy Lynn Delgado, Jasmine Gonzalez, no love for you girls from the champions. They just want to hang out with champions. They don't want to hang out with you girls. So a lot more motivation for you girls to do cardio and train hard. Lenda Murray, we're going to finish with you. What is your word of inspiring words to some of these competitors that are going to try the fit model category? What would you tell them?
Oh, wow. I think that mindset is so very important. And if you've not been on stage yet, like get all that stuff out of your head. Like every single athlete, like Lauralie said, all the way up until seconds before her winning the Olympia, she was ready to text something that just didn't make sense to text, right? It's like, you know, so you have to really believe in yourself, find that coach, get that family, your posse, because you can't listen to everybody. Everybody's got an opinion. And you've got to really be consistent, learn your body, how your body operates, what happens when you do this set, what happens when you take in too many carbohydrates, but just follow through. This is a great, great, great opportunity, and really understand the importance of the journey, the mindset. Every single athlete, they all get on stage and they say the same exact thing. You hear wisdom here. You hear, you see consistency, you know, with Ashley Kaltwasser competing because she loves it. You see her staying in great shape in the off season. Same with Lauralie. You see Lauralie going to compete at the Arnold, despite she's the current champion. Like, they love it. So you have to love it. You have to be passionate about it, and be consistent and understand the importance of mindset.
Very nice. That's 8-time Olympia champion, Miss Olympia Lenda Murray. Today, we brought the best of the best to talk about the new category. And as Lenda said, you know, you got to have the mindset. In my personal opinion, I think this is going to be a tremendous opportunity for you that go to the gym and you never wanted to compete. You were intimidated about competing. This is your category. Jump in and try it. Try the novice, the true novice. And if you haven't competed before in bikini, like many of you that have sent me pictures, this is going to be awesome to bring you back to the stage again. I want to thank my co-hosts. She is the Olympia champion, Lauralie Chapados. She came back to storm the stage and shut up all the doubters. What a great victory. And Lauralie has one of the most amazing stories. Go follow her on Instagram. And if you have the guts, go train with her. What's the gym in the background, Lauralie?
Finally, I can tell you, it's Iron University. You were always so close. Every interview, I was like, say it, Iron University. Gym in Florida. Iron University.
Every time I misspell something or I mispronounce it, I just blame it on the fact that I'm a foreigner.
It's okay.
And Ashley, I want to thank you. You've won more than 50 shows. You've won 3 Olympias. And now, oh my God, who do you think you are? You're like the standard. They're mentioning your name as the standard of the category. Thank you so much. Congratulations on a unmatched career.
Thank you. Yeah, crazy. Thank you so much. But again, I'm so honored.
Terrick. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lenda. Thank you so much. Sorry, Lenda. I know you were going to party today. I had to bring you out of your party. My name is Terrick Guindy with the Mr. Olympia. I want you to go right now to Olympia TV, subscribe. Otherwise, your life is going to be miserable. Go to NPC News Online for all the information. We'll see you next week, where I'm going to bring you the Mr. Olympia, Samson Dauda, for our live. We'll see you next time.